Welcome to the channel, ladies and gents. So today's video is going to be a quick garage door tip. Now I'm going to help you solve the kind of mysterious problem of a garage door not fully shutting and then coming right back up. So I was having this issue where I go ahead and activate the clicker for my garage door and it would start to come down and touch on the ground and then come right back up. Now I'm going to show you exactly what I did, but the typical alignment of the sensors, for some reason, did not work. Okay, one side is green, one side is yellow or amber. Those were lit up, and they weren't flashing. So if they were flashing, that means there's an alignment issue, and you want to get it so it doesn't blink. Make adjustments so they're in the same axis, pointing at each other, the two eyes. And another quick tip is to first clean them. Get a lens wipe and clean them, the little lenses on there. Clean that out, make sure there's no dust or cobwebs there. But I want to show you what I did to finally figure out the problem that I had and what solved it. Okay, like I said, I went ahead and tried the alignment trick. Okay, so here is the right side of my garage door. This is the green sensor. So what happens is when you cross your hand over this, you'll see it blink, okay, because it cuts the beam off. It's completely solid green, which is good. You know, you first want to check your alignment, okay? Make sure these are pointing exactly in the same direction at each other. This one here is on a ball joint. You would loosen this up and then retighten it, and then tighten it to a point where you can still move this around, and get them so they're parallel with each other, and the optical axis is pointing exactly at the other sensor. This might take a couple tries, but that's what you have to do. But that wasn't my problem, okay? Even though these were lit up green and amber, the other side's amber, that's the receiving end, this is the sending end. You know, I had an issue where the garage door was still acting funny. It would just come down and then touch off and then come right back up. And that's problematic, you know? So let's go take a look at the other side. Here is the left side of the garage door. This is the amber sensor or yellow sensor here, okay? This one, when you block the beam off, it does not change. It's going to stay solid. If these were not lit up, you would have to check your connection, your wire connections, if there's wire nuts or other connections going all the way to the garage door opener. But since we have solid yellow and solid green, that means we have power and we have alignment. Okay, so our axis is coming into the optical sensor here, the eye, and is registering. So that wasn't the problem, okay? So what I did was, I was about to order 2 brand new sensors, and I was like, you know what, let me try something else. So what I did was, you see this gap here? Okay. Well, I came in here and I gauged that with my finger, okay? I can pretty much get my pinky finger in here. So that's what I did. I made sure that I had a pinky width of a gap on the left side and the right side. And then the second thing I did, this is after cleaning the lens and realigning and doing all that. The second thing I did was I came over to my garage door opener. And if you see on here, there's a closing pressure and then an opening pressure. You have, you turn this to go plus, and then you turn it clockwise to go minus. What I did was I turned this clockwise, so less closing pressure. Now, the reason why I activated less closing pressure is because when it was closing, I actually noticed that the garage door would come down and really compress the seal a lot. More than it really had to, okay, right here. Along the bottom of the door. And it was really putting a lot of compression at the arm up top, okay? So I was like, all right, let me back off that pressure, because I think what was happening, it was rebounding and it was so much pressure that these came out of an alignment somehow. It was shaking the whole frame and everything else. And it was causing it to rebound, because it was putting too much pressure hitting off the ground. Once I dialed back that pressure, it closed every single time. There was no more issues. So it was coming down, it was just forcing the door down way too much. And that's what it was. So, but first, like I said, you want to check your alignment, make sure everything is clean on the sensor. But that there, check your closing pressure when it comes to door closing, okay? Because it was putting way too much force. For whatever reason, these seals wear out, and you know, things change, the house moves around, and then you end up with a garage door that's like really forceful. And that's what it took. So that right there was the solution. It was me just dialing that back. The closing pressure. This one I did not touch at all, okay? That's the opening pressure. But that's what it was, guys. You know, really, really easy thing to do. You know, I was really frustrated. I was going to buy 2 brand new sensors, but I'm glad I didn't have to. It was as simple as just taking my time, making sure they're aligned, and then going ahead and realizing maybe it has too much pressure because I was watching it come down, and it was just slamming off the garage floor and coming right back up. And it looked a little too forceful. But that there it is. Quick tip for the garage door problems. If you have any other questions or comments, please place them right down below. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.